So I currently own one of the largest digital product shops on Etsy that averages about $35,000 a month, and I constantly get asked about the tools and software that I show in my videos and why I use them. So in this video, I wanted to go over each of them and why I partially attribute them to my success, along with a cost breakdown in comparison to my revenue so that you can decide if you think that these tools are worth it or not for you in your own businesses. So since it all begins with proper product research, I highly recommend using a keyword research tool to get your research done properly from the beginning. The tool that I currently use the most is Everbee, and I just like them because they are installed in my browser so that any searches that I do is just conducted within Etsy, and I can just click a few buttons and see the numbers in the data before making a decision. So for example, on how I would use them, I'm just going to pretend that I am creating a dog t-shirt. So I would just type in dog t-shirt in the Etsy search bar, and it populates with a bunch of similar keywords that have that main keyword in them, along with their monthly searches. So we have dog t-shirt, dog t-shirts for women, dog t-shirts for dogs, and this kind of just gives me a broad overview of if I think it has enough searches or not, which I pretty much think anything over a couple hundred is good. So for this example, I would just click on dog t-shirts for women. This probably isn't a good one because it's only showing 22, which is interesting. But I will go ahead and sort by top customer reviews because that way it will give me the results that have the most amount of reviews and usually the most amount of sales. So my next step is to click on this little arrow button over here, which is product analytics, and this will sort all of the results on that first page along with their estimated monthly revenue, sales, reviews, the listing age, and the shop age as well. So I will click on the monthly revenue button here to sort by the highest amount of revenue, and then I'll take a look at 3 different data points. The first one being the monthly revenue, the next one is the listing age itself, and then the shop age. So this first one here that I would think is interesting is this custom pet t-shirt. Actually, the first one is good too, but it's a sweatshirt, so not what I had put in. So I'll look at this custom t-shirt, which is a custom pet portrait along with a name. It's estimating to bring in about $8,000 a month. The listing age is a little over a year, and the shop age is almost 2 years old. So still a relatively new shop with a relatively newer listing. Some of the other ones that I think would be interesting to look at and analyze would be like this one. It looks like it's a custom pet photo of their dog in different, from a puppy to just different profile views and then a name, but it's averaging about $4,500 a month. We have another custom pet one, but this is a cat one. But this one here is very interesting because it is a Halloween design that is bringing in close to $2,000, but it's only been up for 1 month. So these are the types of listings that I would really go after because they're very new, yet they're making a substantial amount of income already. And here is another one. They both seem to be fall or Halloween, so they're capitalizing on the upcoming Halloween trend or rush for those types of products. So going back over to Everbee's little price plan, they do have several tiers that you can join in on. I am on this $29 or $30 a month plan just because with this one, I would probably use 30 searches within just a day if I'm on a product research day. So with this one, I have unlimited searches as well as access to all of those things things like the listing age and the shop age and the reviews, and along with things like tags and a lot more shop data information. So I'm just going to keep a running tally here and keep track of my costs. So this is costing me $30 a month. And then the next step in my process would be to move on to my creation. So I currently use usually Midjourney or Kittle's templates to design from. So if I was using something that is AI generated, I would probably get it out of Midjourney. So I am on their Pro plan, which is about $60 a month. And this just allows me to create any type of graphic from a text prompt, whether that be for a Tumblr wrap or a t-shirt or any type of digital element or graphic that I might need. The one thing I will mention is that it is ran in Discord, so that is something to get used to if you are not already used to that. But that is how I currently use Midjourney and the plan that I am using. I would say that it is not completely necessary in the beginning, since there are other alternatives that you can use, and I will show you those as well that are less in cost. So once I've created my design, I would usually move into my bulk software where I remove the backgrounds and upscale my images, called My Designs. And I can upload 10, 20, 30 different designs and remove the background all at once, as well as upscale them by 4 times. So that is what I currently use My Designs for right now. I am on this $23 a month plan, though I will say again, this is not completely necessary when you are starting out, because you can remove your background in Kittle or Canva or Photoshop and upscale as well. So I forgot to add in my Midjourney cost, so I'm going to add in the $60 and then add in my $23 for My Designs, getting me to $113. Finally, or not finally, but next, I would use something like Creative Fabrica for all of my fonts or additional elements or graphics that I might need, depending on if I am creating for print on demand or a digital product, just because they have thousands and thousands of commercial use elements, fonts, and graphics, and they are relatively inexpensive at $5 a month if you do the yearly plan, or I believe it's $9.99 if you decide to do the month-to-month plan. So I will add them in just because it is pretty much a non-negotiable, just because I need tons of fonts all the time. So that is at $5. Next, I will move my upscaled image and removed background, if I did that, over to my design software of choice, which is Kittle. And I currently use Kittle just due to their very clear licensing that they have, as well as their functionality to save designs at the 300 DPI that I need them to, as well as all of their AI integration that they are doing, which is what I will circle back to. Like if you do not want to use Midjourney or Discord, they have a built-in AI feature that is ran off of credits, and it is pretty good as far as the types of graphics that it can create and types of patterns and styles. So I will say that you could get away with using Kittle's AI tools without having to use Midjourney if you didn't want to spend on that cost. I am on this expert plan, which is $24 a month, and it does give me 300 AI credits. I have not needed to use all of them. It has full commercial use and 10 gigabytes of upload space. So this has been perfect for me. I haven't needed anything more than this. And if you have not ever tried Kittle and want to, I do have a link down in the description below that they did send over to use a code for 30 days of the Pro plan for free. That is good until September 29th. So make sure to sign up for that before the 29th if you do want to try them out. That way you won't have to pay anything. So that being said, I will add Kittle into here, which is $24. getting me up to $142. I am going to add in another cost that I usually wind up having, which is additional mock-ups, because I like to switch mine out depending on the season and time of year. So for example, I've been creating Halloween t-shirt designs, so I have bought a few Halloween mock-ups from Etsy, though I will say a lot of these type, especially like these AI generated ones, can be found on Creative Fabrica, so it's not necessary to buy them off of here. I'm just going to pull one up just to show you that they do have a lot on here. So I think this might even be like the same girl. So this would be included in here. So I wouldn't say that you need to purchase any off of Etsy unless it's a very particular type, like the style of a particular t-shirt that you're needing that you can't find on Creative Fabrica. But for my purposes, I will put in that I do probably average $15 a month on additional mock-ups, bringing me up to $157 of software overhead. So hopping back over to Allura, I do have the normal Etsy fees, such as the listing fees and the transaction and processing fees, which do calculate about anywhere from 23 to 24%. So I'm going to go ahead and deduct that from my monthly revenue. So take away 24%, so about $8,400, leaving me $26,729. So then I will remove my ad spend, which is usually around $4,000. And that leaves me to $22,729. And then once again, I will remove my software overhead, which is $157. So leaving me with $22,572 on average. I will say that $157 is completely worth it to me as far as my business overhead on a shop that is generating $35,000 a month. I don't see that I could have any other type of business where my overhead would be anything less. Like I said, if you are starting out and need to cut costs until you are seeing a profit, I highly recommend just using the essentials, which would cut you down in half. So for example, let's say you decide not to use the Midjourney, though you could go down to the $30 a month plan and probably still have enough. Let's go ahead and cut that to say you were going to use the AI generator within Creative Fabrica or within Kittle. So that would save you that cost there. I would say My Designs is not necessary in the beginning unless you're creating a ton of designs all at once, and this is just a time-saving software for me, but it's not necessary because you can remove the background and upscale in Kittle or whatever your photo editing software is of choice. So we'll remove My Designs, and the only essentials I would say are absolutely necessary is a keyword research tool, depending on whichever one you want to choose. There are ones like Allura, there's eRank, there's Everbee, though I just recommend Everbee just due to their ease of use and that it is in browser. And then I will say that Creative Fabrica is pretty much a non-negotiable for me just because of the amazing fonts and graphics and everything included for such a low price of the $5 a month if you do the yearly plan. You will need some type of editing software, so whether that is Kittle or Canva or Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator. I think Inkscape is still free. I don't know really of any other free ones. This is just the one I choose to use because it is very beginner friendly. I like all of the templates that are included and of course their AI functionality. So that being said, if you just decided to use the essentials such as, let's just say your design software is $24 a month, you have your Creative Fabrica for $5, and then something like Everbee, because I believe eRank and Allura are around the same price points. Let's just say you had 30, that is $59, so $60. So basically half of what I spend would be your business cost overhead for getting starting out. I still think that that is extremely low for any type of business to be operating under $100 even. As most of you will all know, any type of brick and mortar shop or business is going to be 10 times that amount at the bare minimum. So a $60 overhead for software that is just going to make your life a lot easier and your creation process a lot faster is well worth it, in my opinion. So that is it for this video. Again, I will have Kittle's code down in the description if you want to try them out, and definitely let me know in the comments if you use any of these softwares, or if you do have a different one that is along the lines of these that you think are much easier to use or more cost effective. I would definitely like to learn about them, since I'm always trying new software and tools just to see what is out there. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.